If you're struggling with elbow pain during CrossFit, there are two things that you need to consider before blaming the elbow. So the elbow is actually supposed to be a stable joint, which means that the joints above it and below it are going to be a little bit more mobile. What we also need to consider is the mid-back and its contribution to some of these issues. So if our shoulder is not moving well, we might have the elbow take a little bit of the blame. The way that we can check to see if the shoulder is moving well, our shoulder should have about 90 degrees of external rotation and about 70 to 90 degrees of internal rotation. How I like to check is I will go into this position here, or you can lay on your back. Laying on your back is going to be just a little bit better to get actual range of the motion. Biggest thing that we're going to do though, this is going to be our neutral position. I need to make sure that I'm not extending back as I'm coming through, because as you can see, if I extend back as I'm coming through, I'm going to get a lot more range of motion than I actually have. Vice versa, if I'm crunched over and I try to come here, it's a lot less range of motion than I actually have. So we need to assume a neutral position and then come into this external rotation position. Same concept with internal rotation. If I'm hunched, boom, look at that. That's way more than I actually have. Versus if I'm extended, now I'm locked, I have nothing. More neutral, we're just gonna roll it straight down, okay? So if I don't have these motions in my shoulder, where's the load gonna go? It's gonna probably go into the elbow. Same thing for the mid-back. Our mid-back needs to be able to move pretty well. If we are not having adequate motion into our mid-back, we are going to also have some issues that can play into shoulder and elbow. So a way that I like to check mid-back is we can come into the seated position here. Super simple way to do it. We are going to rotate over as far as we can. This way for me feels pretty limited. I'm feeling like I'm getting blocked. I'm also getting a stretch on that left side. I do have left elbow pain. Same thing, other side, we're gonna rotate over as far as we can. If you feel like you're using the hips or using something that's not actually mid-back to rotate, what we're gonna do, block in between the legs, you can grab a foam roller too, and we're gonna rotate. Same thing, other side. Rotate over. So those are two assessments that you can do. I will now show you guys two exercises that you can do to fix it. Now that we have two things to assess when looking at our elbow, we're going to do two things that we can do to help fix whatever issues that we found. For the first one here, what I like to do is I like to grab a foam roller. From this position here, I'm going to put the foam roller right under that armpit. I'm then going to have my legs down at the side here. I'm going to do a quiet inhale in through the nose. As I exhale, I'm going to roll over the top of the foam roller. Okay. Inhale. I come backwards. Exhale. I roll over the top of the foam roller. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to get the ribs to expand a little bit more to allow for more room for me to be able to rotate one towards that side. And then for two, to help give my shoulder a little bit more range of motion to be able to move around its joint. This next exercise here is called a screwdriver. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab a kettlebell. Ideally stay a little bit on the lighter side when we first start doing this. What you're gonna do, you're gonna lay on your back here. Kettlebell is then gonna go up towards the ceiling. From this position here, I have this leg on the same side is going to become bent. This other leg is going to be straight. My arm's going to come to about a 45-degree angle on the side here. I'm going to drive the kettlebell towards the wall here, or towards the ceiling. I'm looking at the kettlebell the entire time. I'm rotating my elbow pit towards my face, and then rotating my elbow pit away. Rotate the elbow pit towards the face, rotate the elbow pit away. Biggest thing with this one is we're not just moving the hand here. What we're actually doing is trying to get this bicep to rotate towards the wall and then towards you. So ideally, we're getting more motion into the shoulder as we're doing this and trying to take tension off the elbow. Give these 2 exercises a try and let me know how they feel in the comments.